Okay, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a pie chart using the Google Sheet that you will have found in the assignment, how to enter data, how to create the pie chart, how to print that pie chart off, and then how to describe what the pie chart is showing you. Now, you will need your data sheet that you will have completed in St. Andrews to fill out the table. And you should count the number of tallies that you gave the restaurant, cafe, and pub category. So let's just say you've counted 20 there. Now, if you just go down filling out each of these with the numbers that you counted when you were in St. Andrews. Now, you'll notice the first three categories that you've got here are what I would call tourist-related businesses. So I'm just going to put them in green. Okay, now you want to fill out what we might call the non-tourist-like businesses, which are these categories. And I say they're non-tourist because most tourists don't go to St. Andrews to buy clothes or shoes or go to bookshops or chemists or health. Now, there might be some, but these businesses would not be depending on tourists. So they're not in St. Andrews for that reason. So you'll have completed your count there. You just add up your tally. I'm just putting in some made up numbers. So what's important here is that you put in the numbers that you counted, not the numbers I've put in there. Okay? Right. The next step is let's create our pie chart. So to create our pie chart, we are going to select all of these cells, both the cells where we entered our data, our numbers, as well as the types of businesses that we saw in St. Andrews. And we are then going to go over to the right-hand side and click on this little button, Insert Chart. Okay. So what it's now doing is it's going to create a chart using that data. Okay. Now, what I'm going to now do is a few things to this pie chart because we've got lots of categories. And I am going to, first of all, go to this Customize tab over here in what's called the Chart Editor. Now, if the Chart Editor hasn't appeared, let's just get rid of it. The way to bring the Chart Editor in is to select your pie chart and to hit Edit the Chart. And if you've not got a pie chart sitting here, then it's probably because the chart type selected is not pie chart. So if you click on that, you can see there are other pie chart options or other chart options, but we're going to go with the pie chart. Okay. Right, what else do we want? Well, we now want to customize this. So let's just customize our data. So the chart style, we can choose our background color. We can give our chart a border. We can turn it 3D like that. If we want to do that, it's up to us. We can maximize it. If we maximize it, it will give us a key to show us what the colors mean. But I'm going to keep it unmaximized, but I quite like the look of this 3D effect. So let's just hit that arrow and that will bring chart style back. Let's have a look at the pie chart option. What does that give us? Well, do we want to create a donut hole like that? That's entirely up to us. It's all about the way the pie chart is presented. Do we want slices to have labels, values, percentages like that? I quite like bringing in percentage because it shows us the percentage of each of the pies. And if I just scroll down, we can change the font of these labels here as well if we want. Okay, so I'm happy with my pie chart option. My third is the pie slices. Now, this is where I want to do some changes. I want to turn the restaurant, cafe, and pub into a color. And I'm going to pick a red. Oh, let me just click back here. Go to restaurant, cafe, and pub. I'm going to want to pick the same color for what I might call all my tourist functions. So I'm going to go red for this. My gift shops, which are also mainly tourists. So if I change this to gift shops, I'm going to go with a second color, another different type of red. And I'm going to go with my third, golf-related, which is also something that's touristy. And I'm going to pick a third kind of reddish color. So I've got three pies that have kind of got a red color because these are my tourist businesses that rely on tourism. For my other ones, I'm going to pick a different color. So for clothing, for example, I might go, let's go with the blue colors. And bookshops, I'm going to pick another blue, but this different blue this time. And food and supermarket is already blue. Chemists, I'm going to pick a different, maybe go for a more purple light blue. Hair and beauty, I'm going to select another different blue this time. There we go. And finally, university related, which is also something that is non-tourist related when you think about it. And I'm going to go for a nice light blue there. Okay, so why have I chosen one color for the non-tourist and one color for the tourist slices of my pie chart? Because it shows me very clearly what percentage overall of my businesses are tourist. So if I was to add my 39.2 to my 7.8 to my 9.8, I would get about, let me just do the quick sums there, we'd be looking at about 57%. Okay, you can maybe write that down and do a quick calculation. What that means is 57% of my businesses, if these were my results, are touristy. And less than 57%, so 43%, are businesses that rely on non-tourists, so just the locals of St Andrews. Okay. Now, let's just do a few other little things. We need a chart title. So I'm going to change my chart title to the percentage of each business type in St Andrews, or just each business type. There we are. And you can see the title has come there. So that's the only thing I need to change there. I could change the font if I wanted and make it bold on the chart title. And then my legend, I can choose to have a legend if I want, and I can show you what that would look like. I'm going to stay on auto, but if I had the top, it would do it like that. And it would just have the pie chart and a key. But I am going to select auto, which is what I had before. Okay. What I'm now done is I'm ready to print. Okay, so I want to print this pie chart off. Okay. So I'm going to select the pie chart. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to bring this into a Google Doc. So how do you bring this pie chart into a Google Doc? Well, you go Edit, and you go Copy. And then you find a blank Google Doc that you have. Okay, so in your Google Classroom, you'll see that there's a blank Google Doc set up for you to use, which is where you're going to paste your pie chart. So assuming you have copied your pie chart, you're now going to go to Edit and Paste. And that should bring your pie chart in. It's just going to take a little second there. And I'm just going to keep it linked to the spreadsheet because that's fine. Keeping it linked to the spreadsheet means that if I make any changes in my spreadsheet, if I need to change some of the numbers I entered into that table we were doing a second ago, it would change my pie chart here. Okay, I now want to print this off. Now, this is going to print off in black and white on the department printer. And the way to do that is as follows. Once you've got it into your Google Doc, you go to File, you go to Email, and you select the Email this file. Okay? And then what you want to press at this stage, once it comes up with the options, is start typing L41, which is the classroom that Mr. Wiley teaches in. And if you're in Mr. Anderson's classroom, listen to this, you would still go for L41, and you just need to collect the printed off documents from Mr. Wiley's classroom. So select the L41 printer, and then just send. And it will print off on the departmental printer. You will then be able to cut it out and stick it into your project if you are doing your project in a Jotter, or you'll be able to copy it into your main project document if you're doing it digitally. Okay. So one final thing that you're going to have to do is answer 2 further questions, which you will find in the main assignment. So let's have a little look at what they are. Okay. You're going to have to explain in what ways people depend on tourists in St Andrews. So the fact that St Andrews gets hundreds of thousands of tourists every year, in what ways does this affect the people that actually live there? How do they depend on those tourists? In what different ways are those tourists important and vital to life in St Andrews? So you're going to want to write a few sentences to answer this question. The final question is, you should then write a description of what you think would happen if tourists were to stop coming to St Andrews, which is something that happened in the pandemic. Okay, so you should also then write a couple of sentences that outlines that. Okay, and that is the task done. You are now complete. You'll have finished this task. You'll have written the heading in your jotter, and we can then start to have a look at the next task, next lesson.